Alright, Chris. We're talking MOBAs.
Yeah, we're still sitting here. Your topic, MOBAs.
Well,
Even though we
it was your topic. You just started rambling on and on about this Smite thing.
Yeah, well, Tom, we played a lot of League of Legends in our day.
Indeed, way too much.
Well, not
too much.
I started in what, 09 when it first started. I said, Tom, play this game with me.
Yep.
And Tom, goddamn it, you played that game with me.
Indeed.
And then my younger brother played. We had a team of like 5 at one point. We had Mike playing and everything. And
yeah.
He'd only play Volibear for some fucking reason because well, Volibear was OP at the time.
Yeah, he's overall pretty strong.
Yeah.
In general.
Yeah. But I mean, the reason I brought it up was because he kind of walked in when I was sitting around on my phone watching some videos on Smite real quick. And the only reason I started Smite back when it was in beta, so like...
Just like you did with... Did you do League of Legends beta?
No, it was right when it was released.
Yeah, because I remember like, it was like even like 2009,
yeah,
2010 when you first showed me it.
Yeah, I don't know many people that played it when it was in beta. Actually, I know nobody that played in beta, because everybody's played after it when it came out, when actual release. But Smite I played in beta. Me and my younger brother played that. And he played it a lot. And then, like, I was sitting around, and I was playing League the other night. I don't game much, but when I do, sometimes I play League of Legends. And I was like, I was playing ARAM like I normally do, because I don't want to go through the points of playing ranked games and then just have people intentionally, like, right when you get in there, they always pick the mage, and they pick the freaking AD carry and a jungle, so you're stuck playing a tank or a support, and I'm not a fan of those two, so I just play ARAM.
It's incredibly convenient for me, because those are, like, the two prominent ones that I'm best at, is playing support characters and playing top lane characters.
Yeah.
That's what I do.
Yeah, you do that, because I always play ADC then with you, so we hang out all the time.
That and honestly, I'm really good. I just love being a utility tank is always my favorite.
A pest.
Yeah, I love being the pain in the ass.
Yeah. But, yeah, so like, lately I haven't been able to get, you know, the ADC or, you know, the mid laner or anything for League of Legends, so I'm like, I'm not gonna play fucking ranked. And I was getting tired of playing ARAM because, you know, it's all... If you've ever played League, obviously you have, but it's all...
League of Legends.
It's
That's what we're talking about. I think we've only called it League so far.
Well, it's understandable. LOL, whatever you want to call it.
LOL.
But, it's... ARAM's such a pain in the fucking ass, and I was getting sick of it lately. Just because one team gets stacked when they, you know, they have 2 tanks and like the best poke damage.
Yeah.
And you can't do anything about it.
You can't go in.
and your team's always stuck with the melee fighting champions, so you can't do anything. You're just screwed. You have to sit back and wait.
And then there's one guy slightly by adding in the snowballs, where you can just throw it. If it hits an enemy, you can then just warp right to them, so you can just really get into the fight super fast. Whereas a lot of champions don't have an in like that.
Yeah, but it's just frustrating because when you're on that team, the team with the melee and all that fun stuff, and you know, you gotta sit back and wait, there's always that one fucking guy that doesn't have the patience and just fucks it up for everybody and feeds them. And then you're done. You can't do anything, because once you get snowballed in that game mode, it's just downhill real fast.
It's kind of the point of it. ARAM is...
It's
a broken thing, because, well, there's like, it's just a constant waiting for a 5v5 team fight. That is not how the game is designed to work at all.
But yeah, so then I decided I was gonna pick up Smite for some reason, and I'm having a lot of fun playing Smite again. Except it's weird. So like in Smite, Tom, I know you've never played it, but
I've seen enough videos of it.
I'll give you the download though. You use WASD to move. Yeah, the WASD to move your character, right? And if you don't have a gaming mouse, this game is very hard to play, because you basically have to keybind all of your 4 moves to your mouse, because you have to use the mouse to look around, you know, left or right. I mean, you could use probably the arrows and stuff, but it's not ideal. And I'm playing this, and at first I'm like, why can't I fucking do this? Why can't I do this? And I realized I accidentally keybinded my stuff wrong, so I wasn't able to launch my move. I was able to push the move, but it wasn't able to send it out. And so then I got it all figured out. And let me tell you, I'm having a lot of fun playing Smite. I'm having a lot of fun. Like, it makes me want to go out and buy an Xbox One just to play
it on console.
I mean, it's ridiculous. I mean, like, you see people play, you know, they play the arena where it's 5v5, you just gotta, you gotta push your minions to the other things. Which
kind of similar to ARAM in a way. Except you have full choice on what character you're using.
Yeah, and I always seem to pick... Okay, so there's this one... There's like 70 characters right now, and I'm playing as this fucking dragon thing, right? It begins with a K, it's like Quaska or something. I don't know their names right now.
That's also kind of the cool thing about Smite, is they're all based on gods from actual mythology. They're not just random people that are made up.
So I'm playing this fucking flying dragon, right? And its moves are very simple. There's a big wave of guys coming, and you're like, I'm gonna drop my 3, which creates like a cyclone, and it just sits there and spins. You can kill all the minions right away, you don't have to worry much. So you only need one of those guys on your team to clear the waves so that your other teams can focus on the fighting aspect, you know, like the team fights. But when you start stacking magic on this thing, on this character, it fucking rapes. I don't know. I know that's not like a good term to say.
Yeah, I was just gonna say don't.
You can use it. Tom, you put this typhoon out, right? At first I didn't notice it, but if the enemy hits it, it puts like a dot on them and takes away their damage over time. And if you get one person that's able to get a stun off, you can use his ultimate where he just sends this giant dragon right down in a path, and it literally hits for like 900, just instantly killing just every champion. Jesus. It's so fun. But there's the cool thing is there's so many different champions. Like you could play as Anubis, who's, you know, an Egyptian who's like the god of death, basically, you know.
Yep.
And Anubis is really weak in the game because his base stat lines are really crappy and all that fun stuff. But his moveset's cool. Like you can summon like hands to come up from the ground and like grab, you know, and do damage over time.
AoE.
Or I mean, his ult, he just shoots like laser beams out of his eyes, which I think is just the coolest thing ever. But every champion is cool. Like I haven't found one that I don't enjoy so far, because there's so many that I have yet to get through. I've barely scratched any of them.
It's because you also said you have every single one of them and all of them that will be released in the future.
Yeah, I do own everything. Because, you know, I'm cool like that. I just actually spent a couple... You know, I mean, it was a good game, so I threw in a couple bones.
Well, yeah, I mean, for a game that is technically, you don't have to purchase anything.
No, that's like League of Legends, you know, you buy some skins to keep the servers up and stuff like that. All that.
Well, yeah, and I mean... Everybody really wants everything to just be free, but that's not the way the world works. And
no, somebody's taking their time to do this.
You gotta support what you feel gets it, and the easiest way to support is with money.
Yeah, and
so
I mean it only costs you
to do it.
$5. I mean, that's $5, but I mean, they make a bunch of money. Those guys keep making new skins that kind of change how the players.
New skins with different particle effects are my favorite.
Yeah,
they're awesome. Because League of Legends just came out with the project skins.
I seen
where they turn they have like 5 different people that turn into
Power Rangers.
Robots. Oh yeah, I know.
I'm pretty.
But I was just gonna say those robot skins are so fucking sick.
They're cool, but they're expensive. They're like $10.
Well, yeah, compared to like the legendary skins, which like change everything about how your character moves, walks, out all the animations.
I remember when you had the Battlecast Cho'Gath.
Oh yeah, that's so sick. Thing. And his dance move turned into a where he blared music from speakers that were built in.
Yeah.
But yeah. Red Power Ranger. Why?
Oh, it's Axum, right?
The Axum Rangers.
Yeah, because they all have X's.
Yep.
And they're gonna X ya.
Let me ask ya a question.
Just X ya for a smoke. But like I said, for some reason though, I don't know if it's just because I haven't played it for so long and I'm just starting back up, but I'm finding this game to be extremely fun to play. And like I said, when I'm in the future, I'd like to, you know, make a video just to see kind of, you know, how it turns out and everything, because yeah, I mean, like I've never tried making a video when you're playing like a MOBA where you kind of explain what you're doing, your thought process, and reacting to what's actually happening, because you know, like this game, it's like a set linear thing, you know, you're gonna go here, you're gonna fight this.
Yeah,
where like every single game of League and every single game of a MOBA, every game is different.
Yeah,
I mean, just watching the pros play, like, I mean, you got me into watching the esports side of it, and every single, like, you're like, hey, this is going on right now. I'm like, I didn't know that was going on. And then I go on YouTube and there's 5 games, and I'm like,
oh yeah.
Oh wait, this
did you end up watching the regional qualifiers for Cloud9? My God, they came in 7th in the season. Didn't even get to play in the playoff match, and they came back in the last seed because they did really well in the spring, not in the summer.
Yeah, and then they ended up
coming back
4 times.
They had to play 3 other people, and they're all increasing the seed from they were 6th, and then they had to fight the 5th seed, the 4th seed, and the 3rd seed to see who would be the last person to go to the Worlds tournament that's happening pretty soon. And they were doing really bad. They had some victories and they came back towards the end of the season, but like for the most of that split, they were doing just terribly because they had one person leave or retire, and but he was the major shot caller for them, so he made a lot of the decisions, like when do we go in for the team fights and all this stuff. So yeah, they ended up just like no one was expecting them to get anywhere. In the first 2 matches, they picked Amumu, which is a mummy type character that is from very early on in the game, and
they haven't really came back to modify them up.
No, like, and with so many of like the beginning characters, it's incredibly predictable what they're going to do because their moveset, there's just nothing complicated about it. That's all Amumu does is go in. He just goes in and then stuns people and then just is an annoying tank that's really hard to kill and does some damage over time. So, and they were using him, and it's just like, I don't know, maybe they figured something out because he's kind of known for picking some random off picks, which is fine. It shakes things up with with stuff that people isn't expecting. But it didn't work out. He wasn't playing very well with it, and he like missed it like he did. What did he do? I think he used his ult and then flashed, which flash is just essentially a blink spell if you know other games.
Teleport, yeah. Where
you just teleport a short distance. And the point of Amumu's ultimate is just it's a giant AoE around him and it stuns everyone within it. It's extremely powerful and like changes the tide of the battle if you do it right, but if you do it wrong, that means like you're kind of screwed.
Yeah.
So like he was screwing up that stuff a little bit, and then he went back still a bit off picks. So they lost 2, and it's a best of 5 match. And then he picked another off pick, and it's just like, no, this might be the last of them. They might get kicked out right away in the first seed, and then nope. It came back with that off pick, and then just learned the opponent's strategy and just knew exactly how to fight him, and just blew them out of the water the last 3 matches. So they had a reverse sweep, where they were down 2-0 and then came back to be 3-0 the next matches.
The thing that I liked when I was watching that was the final game, where
they did that once, and then in the next seed fight they fought, they fought the other team. Again, they were down 2-0 to start, and then they came back to win 3 in a row. And then the last one came around, which they thought was just like, there's no way they're beating them. And this time, they won the first match, lost the second match, and then won the last 2. But so it was 3-1 even, not even 3-2 like the other ones.
And the thing is when they went and they picked Draven as their
ADC. Oh yeah, Draven, because so the other AD carry on the other team picked Vayne. He's very famous for how good he is with Vayne, because Vayne is a short range carry, but if you hit the same person a row and 3 times in a row with one ability, it does true damage, which is damage that isn't blocked by any of the other resistances. It just goes straight away from your health, and it's really extremely good against tanks, especially. So it's a really good thing to have when your opponent is picking a lot of tanks, but the downside is it is short range, and kind of predictable in kind of some of the ways you do use it, because it is still one of the earlier characters. And then what the opponent did, or what Cloud9 did, was pick Draven. Which Draven is a character that is extremely powerful, but almost 100% reliant on just basic attacks.
Well, yes,
you have to get in, but he has so many things that boost up his basic attacks.
Yeah, well, the thing with him is that you gotta kill a ton of minions, and then you gotta get a kill, and then he gets a boosting gold.
Yeah, he gets a boost for every minion he killed, and for every... What he does is he throws axes, and you can have an ability that gives you a spinning axe, and those ones hit the enemy and then bounce off into the air, and you can catch them. And if you do that, that adds another stack. That for every 1 stack, you get an extra 2 gold whenever you get a kill on someone.
And when he was playing though, and he was up at like 1500 if he would have gotten a kill, and then all of a sudden he died, and everyone's like, oh
yeah,
no.
He dies just like, oh shit, that's like almost the end, because you like need it for him, because as soon as he gets it, then it's just like,
it's a snowball.
It's so hard to recover after he gets that frickin' spell, or gets that boost, because normally in a match you'll be lucky if you get like 1,000 gold in front of your opposing lane
and all of a sudden
partner, and he just suddenly got boosted up an extra 1,500, and also the fact that he was bullying the other person out of lane because Draven's range is higher than Vayne's. So he was just beating the living hell out of this person that's known for being very, very good with this character.
Well, when I was watching it, the announcers announced right away, they're like, he's playing Draven. He's one of the best Draven players. And you're like, when you're watching it, you're like, nobody's played Draven in like 2 years because he's not in the meta, you know.
Well, and by meta we mean like the good thing about the MOBAs and the esports types of games is that they constantly have a changing gameplay. In the fact that some characters that come out are way too powerful, so they lower them down. They want to bring in characters that aren't normally used, so they'll change some of their movesets. And they constantly do this to
keep the game fresh.
Keep the game fresh, make sure that there's balance. There's a lot of different new strategies that come out and stuff like that, so it's always an ever-evolving game. And some characters, they could be very strong for a little while, but then one little debuff, one little nerf to their kit, and they'll, like, no one will use them in the pro scene anymore. And Draven was one of those, because Draven is so very dependent on being point blank and doing physical damage. And you need to get ahead really far. But if you're good with him, and you can get to that point, you can decimate the other team.
Yeah, you pretty much just destroy. Which, when I was watching, I was like, okay, like, the second that Draven was picked, I'm like, I'm intrigued. I want to see how this plays out, because this guy, I mean, he was the #1 Vayne almost in the world. And this guy was the #1 Draven, so
he won Worlds because of his play with that character. He I think it was season 3 of the professional scene. That person won Worlds, and then eventually he came over to North America to start doing it.
Yeah, he was part of T1, SK1.
Yeah, SK Telecom Team 1. And so yeah, he was known for it, and he just got the shit beat out of him because the character is just Draven just outranges and outdamages that character.
No, he was like a level 9 or whatever. His power was like 150. It was just absolutely ridiculous. So it was like I said, like watching that, it really got me like intrigued. And now I'm like sitting here, I'm like, when's October gonna come? When's the World's gonna start? I want to see how.
Oh yeah, I want to see how these guys improve.
Well, I want to see how Cloud9 does now, because they're gonna be matched with all of the #1s in the world.
Yeah.
They got put into a really bad bracket. So
Did they pick it out already? I don't
know
if they picked
the
out
winner
the
of that bracket.
But they are stuck in the 3rd seed position.
Yeah. But they're stuck
Which, I don't know. The group stage of Worlds is pretty good at balancing it out. They pick 1 first seed, 2 2 seeds, and a 3rd seed.
But you can only have one.
One from each region, yeah, so that they keep it mixed up. But we'll see how the seeding works out and everything. And this fight's gonna take a little while. I'm sorry about that. Because yeah, I don't have enough healing items. Although I did just get an extra picnic, which is nice.
But yeah, like, I don't know, I think that's why League is... It's different. Like, everybody's upset that, you know, League only has 3 maps. Literally, it only has the... Well,
it does, and only one of them is used for professional.
Yeah, but that's the good thing, is if they make more maps, then you have to rebalance every single character you made, because one character is going to break that map. It's a given.
Balancing is always the most difficult thing to do in any game that's multiplayer centric, is that you want to have a game that's constantly changing strategies, that's changing up how they play so that it's fresh all the time. Doing that all the time is so hard, and to do it really well, and they do it so well. But with that being said, is that you kind of have to stick to one match.
Well, I mean,
and have one type of game really happening, so that
if you think about it too, I mean, that's the reason why it's the #1 game in the world right now, is because they do it well.
Yeah, they do it incredibly well.
I mean, they're doing their thing, and yeah, it takes a lot of work and effort, but there's a reason that in the, like, 5 years, it's $1 billion company. They just move servers so that it's more accessible for other people to play.
For all of North America. I mean, right now, because they moved the servers from, I think, LA to Chicago?
No, it went from Portland
all
the way to Chicago.
Somewhere out west. Over to Chicago. And
get your shit together, son.
I'm sorry.
I thought you were a League man. Thought you were
I am.
Yeah.
I'm also a Super Mario RPG man. See? I beat the shit out of those Rangers.
Yeah.
Barely. Mostly because Mario can't die.
Yeah.
It just turns the fight extremely long, unfortunately. Sorry about that, guys.
Yeah,
I'm trying to make these videos seem more entertaining, or the visuals more entertaining, but I was not prepped for that.
What can I do for you? Give me a Mega Fist.
But yeah, MOBAs have definitely found their place, and they're not going anywhere.
Not anytime soon. I don't know if they will go away in the next 10 years. It's going to come down to, can somebody dethrone League of Legends? Which, well, at this, I mean,
right now it is getting split more and more. Because Dota 2 is incredibly popular as well, like right under League of Legends, and then
Dota's more of like
Smite's just taking off. Blizzard's Heroes of the Storm is just taking off, but from what I've heard of Heroes of the Storm, it is really a basic MOBA, and the fact that you can't strategize with items you build, it just does a preset. These are your stat increases per level, which is like, it's too basic. Like the fact that you can choose items to change your strategy based on the opponents you're fighting gets a lot more strategic depth to things.
Yeah, and
without it, I mean,
with Smite finally coming out of beta, and now it's being put on, the Xbox One, which is kind of cool. I wish it would
which
be
is
on,
really nice.
The PS4,
a first like top tier MOBA that's going to console.
Yeah, I mean,
it's really the only one that really fits for it.
It's the only one that you can, because
the whole third-person perspective versus the top-down.
Exactly.
You're controlling a god character essentially.
Yeah, it's I'm excited. Like I said, when I'm gonna I'll teach you how to play Smite one of these days, so that I'd like to see how you do it on it, because it's my last game I played. Like lately, when I've been playing, by playing Smite, I've realized that I've gotten better at League now. Like, I back a lot more now and stuff like that.
Oh.
Like, normally I would just kind of sit around and be like, yeah, fuck it, I'll just die. It's fine. I gotta wait like 10 seconds. Like in Smite, though, I back like all the time. Like, all of a sudden, like, out of mana, just go back. I don't wait for it to regen, I don't do any of that. And I do that now with League right now.
Well, yeah, League, you need to be picky about your back times, because you need to be able to buy something important while you're back. You can't just back just because you're
low on mana.
Low.
Yeah, but like I said, it's a different. It's different, but it's the same. Like, I like how Smite took what League did and what Dota did, and put a new twist into it. So now I'm kind of, I want to see where it goes from now,
Yeah.
So now you got League, you got Dota, which kind of are like the same two games. In
yeah,
a way.
they are almost identical, really.
Except Dota, like, you can go play Dota, be my guest, but if you're gonna be new, you're gonna get harassed and you're not gonna play the game.
That's what I've heard.
It's a hard game to get into.
League of Legends is kind of bad with that too, because the people that are in it really expect you to be good, which is
well, the good thing about that is that they just implemented their new anti-abusive policy. I don't know if you saw that. That it's an instant feedback where they'll like screen cap your chat and say, you said all of this stuff to this guy, you're permabanned now.
Oh, nice.
So it's an instant, it literally is coming out like now. So it's kind of, that's got me intrigued because some people like, either A, they really just take the game too serious, or they just want to be a dick.
Yeah,
and the best way to being a dick to people, you play the game that's most popular.
Yep.
So like, with Call of Duty, if you ever go on Call of Duty, you just have people yelling at you the whole time, so you have to mute everybody. You can't just play the game.
Alright, well.
Hey, look at Mario.
We'll continue this next time, because God, do we love our movies.
Yes.
So, next time.
On Cero.